Hello, hello. So
Hello.
I think I'm going to call this feature Thursday Thrive. What do you think, Casey?
Oh, I love that.
There's something about
Thursday, Thrive. Just wait. Thursday, Thrive.
Thrive.
Mate.
Oh, I know, but it's like there's something about matching names that makes
Yeah,
me remember the days better.
yeah,
Anyway, I digress.
I
Uh,
like it.
this is beautiful, Casey. So, Casey is one of my very dearest friends, but also the amazing owner, creator, artist, designer of iheartcakes by Casey. So, welcome, Casey.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. Now, there's a few things why I love Casey's business. First and foremost, the cakes are unbelievable works of art. You have to check them out too. And my eyes are probably in the wrong direction because I need to look at the camera. I keep
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing actually.
um, but her cakes are absolute works of art. They're beautiful and they taste amazing as well. But the thing
Thank
that
you.
I love, oh, Casey, it goes without saying. Casey used to give me like when she was doing tasting cake boxes, and there'd be one or two extra, and I'd get the tasting boxes to take to work. Amazing. Anyway,
Yes, the school or the hairdressers or someone always gets a couple of extra that are left over.
yep, I love it. But the Casey, the reason I really honestly love your business the most though is that I love how you've literally designed and created this business that suits your lifestyle rather than having a life that suits your business.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about what that looks like for you with having a business that does suit your lifestyle?
Yeah, I think I was I've always been put sort of myself first, and my husband Grant, we've been together since I was really young, and it was always important to us to spend time with our friends, with our family. We're traveling, going camping. We do a lot of camping, so that's always been in the back of my head. I went to university, even then, like always spending time with family and friends. So I just knew that that's what whatever I did had to sort of allow that to happen. I was a pastry chef, and that didn't allow that to happen. I
Yeah.
remember, I think it was 30 weekends in a row when I was apprentice. I worked. I didn't have 30 weekends off. Like it was ridiculous, and worked over Christmas.
I really wonder how those industries kind of keep alive when you're thinking about
Well,
family.
they don't. They can't keep people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And so, but like, what the idea is here is also sharing with people what different businesses look like. So, with all the travel time and the family time that you get, how do you do that when it comes to a business? Because for me, I'm like, well, when do you decide when you switch off? How do you let customers know? Like, what does that actually look like?
well, I sort of because I'm already getting inquiries for. So what are we? We're in 2000. Sometimes when I think of it, we're in 2022.
22, yeah.
Yes. So I've had some inquiries for 2024.
It has to be for weddings, right? That's
Yeah,
wedding. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
for weddings. But still, it's just like whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone, just calm down. Um, and so I do put like whole sections, like sort of make sure that I normally don't work on the school holidays.
Yep.
And then whenever I do, whenever I think, oh, I'll work the first week of the school holidays or whatever, it just does not work out. It doesn't work out. I feel guilty. My daughter's like, oh, can we do this? Can we do that? She looks at me with those eyes. And yeah, so I now just pretty much take the whole school holidays off. Even around Christmas, I pretty much take the whole time off. Yeah, so, and then we just plan things then. But I do think like, oh, we're getting to an age now where people don't get married anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if someone said to me, "Oh, we're getting married in 6 months' time," I probably wouldn't be able to go because I've already got wedding cakes and that sort of thing booked in.
Yeah, because it's
But yeah,
because that means so that you're having to say no as well, which is a really interesting concept and something that I think that as business owners we don't do very well.
yeah,
Because that means that if someone's even this person who's contacted you for 2024, right?
yeah,
If that falls on the school holidays, you're saying no. Is that right?
yes, yeah.
Wow.
But I do that every day
Okay.
because once I book up, like once I have my like can't fit any more cakes in that week,
Yes.
I have to say no. So I say no all the time. So like this week, I'll probably get between like Monday and Friday, I'll get at least 30 phone calls saying, can we get a cake? And I have to say no, because I
Yeah.
book up, probably most of the time I book up 2 or 3 months in advance.
So at the beginning though, like when you started out, were you saying yes a lot more?
I was, but I wasn't getting as many inquiries either.
Okay. All right. So that
Yeah,
makes it relevant then as well.
yeah, yeah.
So let's jump back because anyone who wants to sort of find out a little bit more can also read through on the blog. But when you started your business, what sort of, because you know you're in a cake business, what sort of money did it take to start your business?
So tools, I had to, yeah, and if you come to my kitchen, there is just drawers, and they're all just full of tools. And
Can we talk about the favorite drawer though? Is it the second one down that's got the Maltesers and
yes, to the side down the bottom right, that's my daughter's favorite drawer. All the fancy chocolates, all the Ferrero Rochers and Lindt chocolates, and that sort of thing. But yes, I try not to go in there too much. Lucky I don't have a sweet
because your kitchen is set up so beautifully.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's interested, go check out Casey on Instagram, iheartcakes by Casey. Actually, it's I_hearts_cakes
Underscore.
underscore. But you can see in Casey's kitchen as well through her stories. But those tools, like what sort of money are we talking about to get all those tools?
Oh, it's quite expensive. Yeah, like even with fondant, that sort of thing, like I'll still, with the cake shop that I use in Brisbane, I get it delivered. I can still easily drop $1,000 every like 3 months. Oh no, probably every 1.5, 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So cake decorating stuff is not cheap. The
Oh,
tools are not
I had
cheap. So I had to
no
start
idea.
from scratch. So yeah, so I had to buy everything, but I've slowly accumulated it too. So if someone will order a cake that has these sort of fiddly flowers and that sort of thing, I'll buy the silicone mold for that. So I've slowly accumulated everything. But in the beginning, I did have to buy all the different size tins. Tins are quite expensive. Yeah, so all that sort of stuff. I had an outlay for that.
So what do you think? Like if you had to put a number on it, could you put a number on it? Could you give us like an
Uh,
approximation?
I think probably it's really hard because I just slowly built it up.
Yeah.
But I reckon probably in the first 6 months, not including like the kitchen build or anything like that, because I used to work out of our kitchen. But
Yeah.
I reckon probably in 6 months, probably 15,000,
Okay.
10,000. Yeah.
It's interesting because I find that with most businesses where there's real tools which are involved, it's somewhere around that 10 to 15 grand mark
Oh,
that you need. It kind of tends to be the average. You know, if you're doing something like where it's a straight service business, it's different. But anything that requires tools or materials, that 10 to 15 is kind of that entry point, I think, as
yeah.
well.
And it could be as small as like a little palette knife, but then I also had to buy a KitchenAid. Like I've got a KitchenAid. I had one, but I had to buy the bigger one as well. So now I have two on the go most days. So bigger items like that had to be purchased as well.
Yeah, it's true kitchen porn, right?
Yes.
So when we're talking about like just with the startup, because I'm really like I think so many people who are wanting to start their own business as well, these are the things that really matter, right? How long do you think from when you started to when it really started to kick off, where it wasn't just dribs and drabs, like let's say where you might have had bookings that made up 3 or 4 days of the week? How long do you think that was?
So I really did take it slowly, especially because my daughter, it was hard sort of when she wasn't at kindy and that sort of thing for her to be around and like still a toddler kind of thing. So I reckon probably 3 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was really slow. Like I had a lot more inquiries, but I said no a lot more back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, sort of kept it. Yeah.
I think that when you're looking at that 3 years, though, because it's like, you know, for a lot of women, they might be still working part time and need to have that money coming in. So being able to relieve a little bit of that pressure, because there's that real startup hustle culture where it's like, if you're not making it in 6 months, well, then you're not achieving, you know, and it's like, and I don't think it's very true for many businesses.
No, not at all. And I just think like some people put so much pressure on themselves to get it right. And like I think I think I could have given up. I would have probably given up in 6 months if I was like, if this doesn't work, and it probably wasn't working that well in the first year. But I was just like chipping away and building like my reputation and that sort of thing. And I was lucky that I could do that. But I guess some people have got the pressure because they need to have the pressure because,
True.
yeah. Yeah.
True. And because you've been listed now as one of the top pastry chefs, dessert makers, what category? Cake decorators.
Yes.
Cake decorator when you're actually making the cake as well.
Because with cake decorating, I've had to learn everything that I'm doing pretty much, other than baking the cake, which I never actually baked these cakes. Cake decorating is very different to pastry chefing. As a pastry chef,
I didn't know that, Casey. I didn't know that I didn't know that all of these creations that this is. I had no idea.
No, it's very, very new to me. And even like as a pastry chef, we do, even as an apprentice, but even first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh year, you do all the crappy jobs. You don't get to do any of the pretty decorating or any of the chocolate work or anything. The head chef and like the sous chef and that sort of thing, they get to do all that cool stuff. So this is all new to me. It was all new to me. I spent a lot of time on YouTube and learning it all. But as a pastry chef is pastry, croissants, gâteaux, petit fours, that sort of thing. Whereas cake decorator, I am a pastry chef, but I feel funny saying on something that I'm a pastry chef now. I say that I'm a cake decorator now. I don't know why. Cake artist.
Because even like with me, like with Lane and Fleur, and I was head of digital, head of marketing, but yet there's still things that come up every day that I don't know about and that I'm on YouTube and learning. Like I love the fact that it doesn't matter how much you know, there's just always more to learn.
Oh, I love it. I'm just doing cross stitch and I'm on YouTube learning different stitches on cross stitch now. I love it. I love the YouTube. It's been such a
Hey, now, so talking about Instagram, because you've got an amazing following on Instagram. How much are you at now on your Instagram?
Like 7.5, something like that. But that is all local. So like in the beginning, I was like, oh, I really want to, people are getting up to like 20, 30, 40,000. But I sort of come to realize that 7,500 is really good for all local. So in my area of the Gold Coast, 7,500 people, mostly women, follow me. So it's
we're talking
cool.
Are we talking, would that be like 80 or 90% would be local? Is that what you're saying?
Well, nearly 90, I think. There's very few Sydney, Melbourne. That's sort of how you can see it on Instagram. So pretty much all of it is Gold Coast and a few Brisbane, and probably 5% Brisbane.
I think it's the same as any audience though, right? Because you can be hitting for that number and go, oh my God, it's so great that I've got that number. But it's like if they're not engaged, it's not relevant, then it means absolutely nothing.
Or they just like to, I'm not saying this about anyone else, but I tried to do videos and tried to do those sort of cool things, which I love to watch. But a lot of people just like to watch them. They're not actually buying the product from me. True. And I was like, I sort of feel like I'm not using my time, correctly, wisely.
So that brings up another thing as well when it comes to time. So because, you've got, and for anyone who wants Casey's 3 tips on how to increase your following on Instagram, because they're really good. So make sure you read the blog. But Casey, so compared to when you started, compared to now, like the time that you're having to put into socials and marketing, what sort of time difference is it?
I think I used to just put in more and I'd be on there going, oh, have I got more followers? What are these people doing? What's that person doing? Now, I spend a lot of time on my phone still, but a lot of it is like answering customers and pretty much just answering customers and working sort of that sort of stuff out. But now on social media and that sort of thing, I have my pictures that I take of every cake, pretty much every cake, and I have them in a backlog on my phone. It's posting once a day a new photo of a cake, and then also just engaging like through stories and that sort of thing, which I find I don't plan it. I just am doing something and I think, oh, I'll do a video of that or whatever.
Yeah, I like stories too. I love it as a space. I think it's a really fun space to create content for.
Yeah. So, but now I really it takes a little while to edit the photos, like just with the light and that sort of thing. My photos are quite good already, but I just need to, lighten them up and that sort of thing. So sort of, I don't know, maybe an hour or so a day.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's still a decent amount when you're
Yeah.
talking about, compared to how many hours that you're actually baking as well. That's still quite a decent amount.
Yeah. And that's sort of like I guess I include social media. A lot of people don't take messages for cakes, that sort of thing, through their social media. They only use email, but I use everything. Sometimes it's detriment to me because I've got stuff everywhere. I've got like Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, emails, phone calls, text messages, and it's sometimes hard to keep control of all of it. But I just know that people like to use different things.
Absolutely. I've always been a big believer in answer people where they get in contact with you.
Yeah.
And take whatever money, like
Yes.
whatever payment. If you want to do PayPal, if you want to do like whatever,
Yeah.
if you want to do cash, if you want to do direct, however you want to pay for it, no problem.
Yeah. And it's the same with like the cake designs. With the money. I'm like, this is my business. Like people, like I'm doing a soccer cake this weekend for one of the ones in England, and it's like it's not sort of what I love to do, but it's how I get to do the little fiddly work. But there's a lot of cake decorators are like, I only do a certain style, I only do this, I only do that. But I'm like, look, you want a cake and you're going to pay me, I'll do an amazing cake in that design. And because this is my business, and I need to make money.
So that's really interesting.
Bottom line, like
it's interesting though, because on the one hand, like you're very tight with your boundaries around your time and what it looks like from that business, like from going into your family life. But then on the flip side, you're also very open to saying yes, right? So it's about working out your own personal boundaries in business, what you will say yes to and what you'll say no to. That's interesting. Yeah. Cool. Hey, well, Casey, amazing to catch up. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You too.
And now, if anyone wants to book in for an incredible cake, when's your next availability?
I've got a couple of spots at the end of November, but I think that's it
For the year?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! High five, girlfriend. That is amazing.
And it feels really nice too, because when I'm booked up, but then I'm also taking a bit of time off, so there's less paperwork to do, because I just reply with, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not available for that date because I'm going away on holidays or I'm booked up. So a bit of a relief from that as well, because for the last 2 or 3 months I've been the paperwork and the inquiries have been so busy.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. Hey, well, thank you. I just know that your business model and how you've structured everything will be a real inspiration to so many. So thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.